Hello guys, welcome to HackerX 30 Days of Code, and today is day 10 of the 30 days, and today we are going to look at the concept of binary numbers. So we have to perform this task. We'll be given a decimal number. Decimal number has base 10, and then we have to convert it into a binary number which has base 2, and then we have to output the maximum number of consecutive ones. So this is an example. We have been given an input of 125 in decimal, and then we'll convert it into binary. This is the binary form of 125, and then we have to print the maximum number of consecutive ones. So here there are two ones separated by a zero. So this has five consecutive ones, and this is only one consecutive one. So we have to print 5. Okay. So we are going to learn a lot of new concepts here. We'll first learn how to convert a decimal number into a binary number. Now I won't be hard coding that method. I'll give you a shortcut. So let's proceed. Let me clear all these unwanted things that are already written here. So I'll delete this. Now I'm including a library called bitset, which is used when we are dealing with binary numbers. So hash include bitset. Okay, now that we have included that library, let me write the main function. So first we'll take the input n from the user. For that we'll have to first declare an integer called n, then take the input from the user, store it in n. Now we'll have to convert a decimal number into a binary number. How do you do that? So first we write bit set, then in angle brackets we specify the number of bits that we want the binary number to have. So the constraint on n is this. N is between 1 to 10 raised to 6. So the number is quite big, and because the decimal number is quite big, the binary representation will also be quite big. So we use 32 here because we want the number of bits to be 32. So first we write bit set, then in angle brackets we specify the number of bits the binary string will have. Then we write the name of the string, binary string, and then in brackets, in curved brackets, we write n, which is the decimal number that we want to convert into binary. Okay, so n, which is the decimal number, will be converted into a, which is the binary representation, and a will have 32 bits. So if n is 5, a will be 29 times 0 and then 101. Okay, so this is how a will be. Now we have to find the maximum number of consecutive ones. For that we'll run a for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than 32, and I plus plus. So I taught you in the previous videos that a string is like an array, but before that I'll have to declare an array. Okay, so I'll declare an array called arr, and the capacity of that array will be 32, and I want all the elements of that array to be 0. I'll explain you why. For now just pay attention what I'm doing. So this is the syntax for declaration of an array. First we write the data type of the array, which is integer, then we write the name of the array, and in square brackets we mention the capacity of that array. Now when we equate it to 0 in this wavy bracket, we are initializing all the array elements to 0. Alright, now I'll also declare an integer called j, and I'll initialize it to 0. So the value of elements in a is bool. So data type of that element is bool. So what is bool? Bool is the full form of bool is boolean. Now there are only two values possible in a boolean. One value is true and one value is false. So if a boolean value is 1, then it is true. and if the boolean value is 0, then it is false. So if a of I, so if an element of a is true, that is if it is 1, then we will have to increment the array element with index j, so arr of j plus plus, and if it is false, then we'll have to increment j. Okay, so what did I do with this for loop? Okay, first I created an array of 32 elements and initialize it to 0. Now let me take an example of 13 here. So the for loop will run and it will surpass all those zeros, and while it is doing that, it will increment j because this condition is not met whenever whenever the element of a is 0. So it will increment j how many times? It will increment j 28 times. So now j has become 28. Okay, now when it encounters the array element 1, it will increment arr of j, which is 28. So array element 28 with base index 28 will be incremented. So arr of 28 is 1. Now again it will shift to the next bit, which is 1 again. So arr of 28 will be 2, and then it will encounter 0. So j will be incremented and j now becomes 29. So arr of 28 is 2 and arr of 29 is 0. Now it will shift to the next bit and it is 1 now. So arr of 29 will be 1, and arr of 30 and arr of 31 will be 0, 0 respectively. Okay, so now we know that whenever a series of 1 is encountered, we store the length of that sequence in some of these array elements. All right, but these sequences of 1 can occur randomly. Like there will be a sequence in which the length of the sequence will be 3, and then the sequence will be 2, and then the sequence will be 4, and then the sequence will be 1. But we want to output the maximum number of consecutive ones. So we'll have to sort that array in the ascending order. Now how do we sort an array? There is a function called sort. So first we write sort, then we write the name of the array, then we give a comma and write arr again, name of the array, plus the length of the array that we want to sort. So we want to sort the whole array, so we'll write 32 because 32 is the size of the array. Okay, so this array will be sorted ascending in ascending order. So the maximum element, the greatest element, will be the last element of the array, which is arr of 31, because array starts from index 0. So nothing, now we just have to output the maximum element, which is the last element of array, which is array of 31. That is it. We have successfully completed this code. Let's run the code and check if it works. Okay, so first two test cases have been passed. Let's submit the code. All the test cases have been passed. I'll just show you test case 5 by unlocking it. Okay, so 65535 was the test case and the output was 16. Let me show you how bitset works. So I'll just output A2 cout A. Let me clear this output. Now this should print the binary string which has boolean values. Let me give it custom number. Let me first give it 20. Let's see what it prints. So this is the string A which will be printed. Now the value of the string is 20 and this has 32 bits. Alright, so this is what I wanted to show you. If you want to know how the code works again, you can stay or you can leave. So first we declare an array called ARR and we initialized all the elements to 0. Now the value of j is 0, so we initialize the value of j to 0. Now we ran a loop which iterates through this string. So first I will be 0, so it will encounter this element. Now all these elements are either true or false. If it is 0 then it is false, and if it is 1 then it is true. So we gave this condition: if a of I is equal to true, then we have to increment that array element. So we'll have to first increment array of 0, but it is not true because it is 0, so j will be incremented. So now the value of j is 1, so it will increment the value of j till it encounters 1. So the value of j will be 28 or 29 here. Okay, so when it encounters 1, this condition will be satisfied and array of j will be incremented. So ARR of 28 will be incremented and it will become 1. Now a 0 is encountered again, so j will be incremented, so j becomes 29. Now 1 is encountered again, so ARR of ARR of 29 is 1. Alright, and the next two elements are 0, so only j will be incremented. So this array now has ARR of 28 as 1 and ARR of 29 as 1, but all the other elements as 0. So when we sort this array, we'll get 30 elements as 0, and the last two elements will be 1 and 1. So the maximum element, which is 1 in this case, will be the value of the last element, and that we are going to print. So this is the logic of this code. Alright, then we have completed this challenge successfully, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.